is that time, and I am juiced for tonight's show, you guys, because we got football on the tube or on your streaming app, but you got football right in front of you too, because you're in the locker room show. You're rocking with Coach Wood. To the far right, you know you got my man, the Guru, and we're about to get after it with an amazing guest who has accomplished a lot, you guys, and he's got some sauce for you guys tonight. So let's get right into it. Guru, how's it going tonight?
I'm feeling good. Look, I got a cantaloupe smoothie. I'm determined to have the cleanest liver in Harris County. Watch this. It's busting.
All right.
I'm telling you, man, it's a little bit of apple, and you put some kale in there and some cantaloupe. Liver clean. So clean you can eat off of it. But
I don't know if that sounds refreshing to you, but you never know what you're going to get with the Guru when you come in the locker room. But let me get to the gentleman in the middle of the screen who you see is on the road. He's coaching. It's the football season. People take their time to give you the sauce in the locker room, and we love it, you guys. But this is none other than the great Coach Jason David. He was a star at Washington State. He played in the league, and now he's coaching at #1 Modern Day, and he's here with us tonight. What's going on, Coach?
Man, what's going on, fellas? I'm good, man. How you guys doing tonight?
Oh, we're pumped up to have you, man. And it's here. It's football season, Coach.
Man, it's time to go. I mean, it was football season for Modern Day last week, but now it's football season for the rest of the country, man. So it's an exciting time of the year for sure.
That's what's up. That's what's
up.
Yes,
indeed. And he is not lying, you guys. Modern Day kicked it off last week. They flew all the way to the Southeast, you guys, and played St. Thomas Aquinas. And those boys handle business as they usually do. And we'll definitely get into that, too, because I know there's probably some Monarchs tuning in. So let's get right into it. I mean, we got the great Jason David. This is someone that has decided to also still give back to the game, you guys. He didn't have to do that. So he's given us his time here tonight, and we've got some special topics that we're going to get into. So if you're joining us for the first time, all of the topics are on the bottom ticker, you guys, as you see, and we get in and we get out of each one. So let's start off with the first one, Jay. I mean, realizing your talents. Obviously, somebody doesn't play at Washington State and go win a Super Bowl if they're not talented. When was the first time that you said, the light bulb's on, I'm a little different?
I would probably say my junior year in high school, right? When you're a youth football player and you're fast, things usually come easy. And so as a youth player, I was really good, obviously, because I was faster than everybody. But it wasn't until probably my junior year in high school where I started to understand the recruiting process and start to realize that I'm on the same field as some of these other 4-star and 5-star guys who were nationally ranked or who were making plays. And I was doing the same thing. And so those guys were getting recruited. They started signing scholarships. They started going off to college. And I was thinking in my head, well, if those guys can do it and I'm playing at a high level, I must be a pretty good athlete. And then, the recruitment process began. And, I just remember seeing some of my teammates go off to college and thinking, man, they really made it to college. Like, this really actually happens. And so kind of a lot like what happened in college, right? You start to see your buddies get drafted. Then you start to have that belief, like, I can do the same exact thing. And so I'll definitely say my junior year in high school, I began to realize I have a pretty good talent and that maybe this football thing could take me far.
That's big right there. So you're basically saying that these young men have to see it around them. They have to see the people around them doing big things, and then they can believe they can do it too.
Yeah, I mean, that's typically how life works, right? Like, if you're around positive, influential people, you tend to become as such, right? And so for me and in my high school, being around the other talented players, it just really pushed me to be as good as them, if not better. And so that was really the script for me is, okay, these guys had a certain, whether it be a routine in the weight room, whether it be an off-season routine, I knew if I just followed these guys because they had the success and they had the scholarships and they were doing the things that I wanted to do, all I had to do was follow suit. And I felt like with my skill set, I could accomplish
the Your audio just cut out.
My audio?
Yeah, your audio. Can you hear?
Yeah, I can hear you guys. I can hear you guys fine.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, you good.
You can hear Q? Okay, well,
Yeah.
maybe it's me. 1 second, you guys.
Guru, you can hear me?
Man, I can hear you loud and clear, man. My man, he on Cricket. That's all. He used Cricket. That's all. Yeah, we
got
be
the
all right.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, man.
All right.
That's all right. See, we gotta upgrade to T-Mobile, man. They gotta cut us a check. We gotta get this fixed right now.
Yeah,
We
get a
gotta,
little sponsor.
yeah, man. We gotta get you better internet, man. You gotta kill that Cricket internet out there, man. In the Bay, man. It's not gonna cut it. Yeah,
I see some of
my man got Boost Mobile internet, man. You can't.
No, not quite. But no, what I do got is kids that's probably over there vampire.
Oh, they own that. They own that Wi-Fi.
That's what I got. So we got the great Coach Devin. We see you, baby. We see Avocado Baby from Denver checking in. We got our Denver crew, and then as always, the one that loves football also, my mother-in-law on in, and I know you guys are getting ready for some CU football too. So no, that's big right there. I mean, like you said, you got to see it to model it and get after it. We're dealing with the great Jason David, you guys. He is coaching at Modern Day. He is giving all of his knowledge, his passion back to these young athletes, and he's giving us his time tonight. I wanted to talk to you about dealing with doubt, okay? Because I saw this, and this caught my attention. But one of your former coaches, I believe, was saying that, hey, a lot of you young athletes think that you can't make it because you're measurables. But Jason David was 5'8", 150 when we gave him a scholarship. And we are glad we did it because he was a 3-time all-conference player and went on to get drafted and play in the NFL. Let me ask you about that, man. I mean, I know you said you thought you could make it because of your teammates in high school, but did you ever still have those doubts throughout college or the league or feel that you were, maybe a coach was doubting you?
Yeah, the doubters, it's inevitable, right? And no matter if you're tall, small, fast, big, there are always going to be people that you or say things to make you feel like you can't make it, right? And so by the time I got to high school and I was making plays against guys who, you're 6'5", 6'6", it really wasn't anything that was extremely impactful for me when I got to the next level, right? It was basically the same thing, just better players. I think the problem sometimes is parents even do this. They get caught up in the measurables. And what typically happens is the kid then begins to feel like he has to be a certain height or a certain weight or a certain speed in order to be successful at that particular sport. Whereas, I had an immigrant mom who was 5'2", who didn't understand sports, but what she understood was the belief in her child. And because of that, she made me feel like I was the biggest football player on the field. And I knew she wasn't right. Obviously, I am who I am. But what she reminded me of is like, hey, listen, if you think you're good, I believe that you're good. None of this other stuff matters. Just go play football. And I think sometimes, even from a parent standpoint, they just hold so much weight on these measurables, right? Instead of just focusing on your kid's skill set and their talent. In college, I had a college coach who, during the whole practice in front of the team, yells at me, hey, you're too small. You'll never play football at this size. And I just remember thinking like, okay, bro, like, sure, that's what you think, but I know I'm a good player. Like, I obviously got a scholarship for a reason. And when he said that, I don't think it was in a way like to grade me. It was more so like, hey, listen, you have some challenges, but if you can't get bigger, faster, stronger, you'll never play, right? And so, if you learn how to deal with that type of adversity, whether it's, hey, you're too slow, whether it's, hey, you got to lose some weight, hey, you're too small, whatever the case is, if you can get over that and really just believe in yourself, I think ultimately, like, you'll be fine, because at the end of the day, you still got to play football. No matter how big, fast, strong, slow you are, you still got to be able to be a good football player. And that's all it really comes down to. And once I believed in myself that, I'm a good football player, no matter who I line up against, whether it's Calvin Johnson, whether it's Chad Johnson, that I was going to have success, that was just it. And so by the time I got to the league, yeah, there were still people saying, "Oh, he's not fast enough. He's not big enough."
Yeah.
Well, I got drafted to a cover two system, and everybody knows being a 5'8", 5'9" corner in a cover two system does not work, right? But again, I just had an extreme belief in myself that I don't care what system you put me in. Like, I'm a baller and I'm gonna make plays, and that's really how I handle that argument, or how people would approach me with that type of conversation. Is like, you can't do this. You're not this. You're not that. Okay, well, let me prove you, because I've been doing it my whole life.
No,
Wow, that's amazing right there.
I feel you on
Q?
that, man. Yeah,
to
no,
me.
no, definitely. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I was, you know, I'm 5'9". You know, I ain't no 6'1" corner. But I remember one time, man, we were playing Texas, man, and I threw, you know what I'm saying? I threw a shutout. You know, I threw a shutout, man, did a damn good job, man, on Roy Williams, too. You know, he was out, you know, killing everybody. And I remember, man, I don't think it was Pam Oliver, but we were playing on Fox, and they were asking me how was I so successful. You know, obviously, man, with Roy being who he was, man, his measurables, man, you know, I mean, the dude he was a dog. And I asked him, I was like, have you, and I literally watched this, have you ever watched a mongoose take down a king cobra? If you've never watched that, YouTube a little bitty a mongoose take down, and no, but I'm saying mongooses, they take down, that's their main prey is king cobras. And the way that they do it is off of speed and skill and agility, even though this king cobra is 4 or 5 times bigger than them, right? So I used to always tell what they would classify as undersized corners. Well, hey, I'd rather have a 6'4", 6'5", 6'6" receiver. You want me to tell you why? And this is a secret for all you undersized DBs out there, or what they call undersized. You want to know why I take a 6'5" dude? Because it's only 2 damn routes you going to run on me, a post or a fade. And I'm shutting that shit down immediately, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to make you break down, and I'm going to make you run routes with them long legs, and I can come out of my break quicker than you can. So you lose every time. The guys you got to worry about, oddly enough, is the receivers. And tell them if I'm not. The dudes you worry about is the Deshaun Jacksons. Yeah, that's who you worry about, is the Santana Mosses. They're the dudes that'll kill you. But ironically, it's the same way on the offense. Oh, we want a 6'4", 6'5" receiver. Deshaun Jackson, every bit of 5'10", $137, and he gonna go kill you. Those are the dudes you worry about. So it's funny they always talk about measurables, but you 100%. Look at Steve Smith like, well, 100%. Damn, yeah.
Well, that's
I always get asked, you know, who were the toughest guys that you played against in the league? It's never the Calvin Johnsons or
Wes Welker. Shit.
It's the Steve Smith. It's the you know, the Hakeem Aziz, those guys who are shifty, the Marvin Harrisons, those guys who were shifty, that could match my quickness and my speed were typically the ones that gave me a hard time. So you're absolutely right about that, man. Those bigger guys was light work.
Yeah, like 5, yeah. That's
great insight right there.
That's all you doing. That's all you can do, man. All you gonna do is try to, man, fade or a post. That's all you gonna run. You can take that away by alignment, and it's over. Like it's like you can cancel Christmas on these big dudes.
But back to the overall premise, Coach. You're saying that it was inner confidence that you had in yourself, where you knew you could. Okay, gotcha. So you young athletes,
and obviously you got to have some success, right? Like, you can't just have inner confidence out of nowhere. You know, it took me being able to be battle tested to go out there and feel like, okay, I can do this. So, but yeah, ultimately that's what it came down to, man. Just having inner confidence in yourself.
100%. And we got some great people coming on in here. The great Ernest Munoz, he's got a DB in his family coming from Texas. Love you guys. We've got the great Jimmy Rucker, says everybody doesn't hit the genetic lottery. You're right, Jimmy. You got to put in the work. You got to be the truth. We've got Ethan O coming in, JD, the truth. Thank you for joining us. And Nick,
that's nephew.
The great Johnny says proud sis.
That's family right there. Ethan plays Sunday night too. That's my nephew. He goes to Miami. He has a big game.
Hey,
nice.
okay, we gotta man, Neff, come on. We
That's
gotta
what's
make
up.
some plays, baby. Get that ball out. So
That's it.
I love it. I love it,
I'm
you
telling
guys. We're on to our next topic, and once again with the great Coach Jason David, NFL player, you guys, Washington State. He's battled his way. Now he gives back to the kids at Modern Day. And that's what I want to get into, man, is because you guys had a big game last week. I mean, every game from Modern Day is huge because, you know, people want to put the target on your back. But last week, you guys traveled to Florida. You guys beat St. Thomas Aquinas. They tried to come back there at the end. And I wanted to ask you, Coach, how do you know, especially with high school kids, how do you know if you got them ready for a big game? What are some keys that you look for as a staff to know these boys are ready?
So guys, how you doing? As far as the big game, what's going on, guys? As far as being prepared for a big game, you know, to me, it really starts with the coaching staff. And if the coaching staff is confident in the game plan, if the coaching staff has, you know, they show up to practice prepared, then ultimately the kids will follow suit, right? So it's really up to the coaches. And when we face these big games, whether it's St. John Bosco or Bishop Gorman, the trend is normally this. Coaches show up to practice, we have our game plan, we're ready to go. And then by Friday, actually by Thursday's walkthrough, if we've done our job as a coaching staff, we can see based on how the kids are communicating, based on how the kids are aligning, based on the focus of the kids on Thursday, we know we're ready, right? If we show up on Thursday walkthrough and there's a lot of gray area within our calls, or the kids aren't too sure of a check, or we try to install some complex game plan, you could see it all. You could see it just as easy on Thursday that the kids aren't ready. So for us, man, these big games, because we're fortunate enough to have played in a lot of them, we understand how to get them prepared, and we do our best to, you know, try to treat every game the same. I know it's cliche, but for the most part, we don't want to vary from who we are as a team, right? And what we're good at, and the things that, you know, we do exceptionally well. We just want to go out there and execute. And I think the great teams that I've been a part of, that's all it is, just execution. If you put in the right game plan and the players are able to execute, you can beat anybody, especially at the high school level. Obviously, you got to have some talent, but to me, when our kids are ready, man, come Thursday, those boys are dialed in, they're communicating, they're confident in the game plan. And it was the same thing for Florida. I think we had our best practice of the year, even including summer, on Tuesday before we left. Like, the energy was awesome. The kids were fired up. And so it was really cool to see us go out there and get the W in Florida.
Wow. Okay. So that's the execution. Q, I wanted to ask you, man, when you were a player, did you know when you were going to have a good game, or was it a, hey, I always feel good and then I just got to see how it goes? Could you tell?
Yeah, man, it's man all in preparation. I think, like I said, man, when you and I mentioned this, you know, on a number of episodes. When you come from, a lot of times when you come from a high level high school program and you're used to executing and being mentally well prepared, it carries over into college, right? So it just becomes habit. You know, my question to you is, Coach, is how can I say, do you all ever get concerned with the mindset of your team because you're so overly talented? Do the kids ever be like, well, if we do have a half-ass week of practice, but we got so many horses, like, it is what it is. Do you ever get concerned about that? Because you got so many killers. It's like,
yeah, 100%. And you know what it is when you're playing, whether it's a team that isn't as skilled as you or as talented as you, kids tend, they tend to maybe not practice as hard that week. And again, it comes down to coaching. It comes down to how you get the kids prepared, how you show up for practice. But yeah, that's always a concern, right? I mean, if you just look at the game versus St. Thomas, we did up 26-3, and we thought this is in the bag. This is easy, right? And out the third quarter, we're playing as fast and as aggressive as we were the first half. So then coaches have to get involved there. We can't rely on the kids to make this extreme shift. We have to make adjustments as coaches. But 100%, man, with any sport at any level, you could look on Sundays, right? If there's a team that's 8-0 and you're playing against a team that has 0 wins, you're liable to get beat if you come out there flat. And especially at modern day, the target is always on our back. So we know that we're going to get every opponent's best shot, at least for the first quarter and a half. Like that's for sure. They might not be able to sustain for 4 quarters, but if we give team, some confidence and some life in that first quarter or that first half, who knows what could happen in the second half. And so again, it starts with the adults, it starts with the coaches. If we can make sure that those kids remain focused, whether we're playing the best team in the country or the worst team in the country, whether we're up 100 points or up 1 point, right? It's just making sure that our kids are, again, able to execute and playing at a high level. But coach, that's always a concern, man. Like, that's a concern in all sports at every single level.
Yeah, definitely. No, that's perfect feedback right there. And it goes into the mindset, you guys, of high-level performers. That's how they get down in modern day. We're on to our next topic, and we don't want to keep Coach too long. They were supposed to have a game, but the team didn't have it together. But they got practice. They got things going on. This one is interesting, and I wanted to talk about the college football season kicking off, and we'll actually start with you, Q. Obviously, everybody wants their hands on one of these, on the national championship, and the gentleman we're talking to got the NFL version, the better version, the Super Bowl, but the college championship, Q. Give me your sleeper this year for potential college football champion, and it can't be in the top 5. Top 5 isn't a sleeper. It's got to be below Georgia. Actually, it's got to be below Notre Dame because they was in the mix last year. Give me your sleeper for this year's possible national champion.
I'll tell you what, man. My top sleeper is SMU. They were doing some damage, man, and balling last year. Balling. They kind of tapered off a little bit, man, around playoff time. But I mean, man, they were making a hell of a run.
So you think it wasn't a fluke?
No, not whatsoever. Well, you got to think about it. Think about it like this, and this is one thing on a historical fact. We're in the era of NIL. Who the hell do you think started that? That started in Dallas, right, in SMU, right? They started this whole thing, right?
Eric Dickerson.
Okay. Yeah, they started it. So
I see where you're going.
Always had, especially now, they always gonna find plenty of money to buy who they need to buy because they started it, right?
All right.
So got them as a sleeper, and then I also would say, as far as we're talking about below Georgia currently on the poll. I also like let me see. Let me enlarge that a little bit. I like Arizona State. I like Arizona State and
SMU.
No, I was about to say, Arizona State. I was about to say there was somebody else I was looking for on there, but no, I like Arizona State as well. Again, the reason I like them is because I always will say if you have a team that's got a solid defense and a nice trigger man, you always got a shot.
You're in the mix.
Always got a shot. Yeah, for sure.
Talk to Coach Jay because you in the mix. You a coach. Below Georgia, below Notre Dame, who's your sleeper for national champion?
There's a couple of teams on there I'll address just because not that I'm fans of, but there's a couple players that I know that are on these teams and a couple coaching staff that I know that are doing a good job. The first one is Alabama. You can't count Alabama out. No matter where they're ranked, no matter who's the head coach, that's a football factor. And, they have the phrase roll tide. If that team gets rolling and they get hot, they have a chance to run the table and beat anybody. I like Oregon only because they always find a way to do what they do, right? They never try to copycat anybody. They never try to,
Good point.
Play outside themselves. They are who they are. And lastly, Miami. You know what I'm saying? Like, what Miami did this offseason, if you look at a lot of the moves that they made and the pieces that they have, I think they have the explosive offense that you need to win big games, and definitely the defense that they put together including obviously my nephew being picked up in the portal. I think they got a really good chance to really, I don't want to say surprise people, but people are looking for them to make a run. But to me, I think they're probably the most slept on because no one has seen this 2025 team. Everyone remembers Cam Ward and what they've done in the past, but I think what the staff has done and what the administration has done up there from a portal standpoint to add to the pieces they currently have, I mean, they're going to really shock some people, starting with Notre Dame week 1 on Sunday.
Nice. All right, you guys. So, hey, there you go. You got Coach Jay, and you also got the Guru, and they're saying who they think might be in the mix under the top 5, top 6. We got Jimmy coming in. He's saying SMU, Notre Dame, Michigan. You got Coach likes Miami, so it's going to be very interesting. This is the first time in a while that it might be this wide open. So interesting that none of you guys are talking no USC. So we'll be interested to see what goes on with Lincoln Riley's job. So we are moving on, you guys, zipping through the Lock Show. We got the great Coach Jason David, you guys. The resume is lengthy. You guys go check them out online. There's some games on YouTube. It'll do yourself some justice. Couple more topics, and then we're going to let Coach go here. This one, Coach, was one, and definitely Guru want to talk to you about this too. But obviously, the 53-man roster, coaches are making tough decisions. You see Shiloh here with his pops, and he got let go. There's some guys that got let go that you might not necessarily think would have got let go. But we lost Coach here, so hopefully he can get back on. But talk to me, Guru, as far as a young man who has put his heart out there, his body on the line, trying to provide for his family, and he gets told no, or at least not right now. What's some advice to a young man? If that was your son who got let go, what would you say to him?
I mean, man, you're going to have to do some soul searching, man. I had sent you an article today or whatnot, man, the running back from Minnesota, and he had got released. And you're going to have to really sit back and figure out, okay, do I still really want to do this, right? It's a lot of kids out there that, we said before that they get their opportunity, they get in camp, and things might not with the first team go immediately how, they intended for it to go, and it's going to test your heart, man. And it's a lot of kids out there that they might shut it down after they get released after the first team simply because they've been doing this for so long and their heart's just not in it anymore. But you just gonna have to see where you're at, and if you really made up in your mind, hey, I want to move forward, man, and get another legitimate opportunity to make a 53-man roster, or at least for starters, get on a practice squad and work my way up to some significant playing time. You're gonna have to find that within yourself, man. It's a man's game. And we know that a lot of times there's a lot of guys that shouldn't have got cut that are some dogs, and it just has to do with a numbers game. It's a lot of politics in the league too, man. It's a lot of good players, man, that end up getting released or traded, waived that are bona fide killers. But it's like this guy's making so much, you got to pay this guy, and this dude might might be an unsigned free agent or a 6th round guy that's bona fide better than who you got, but you're paying them so much. What are you gonna do, right?
Good point. No, talk to me, Jay. I don't know if you've ever been physically cut. Not physically cut, but cut by the Turk. But what advice would you give? Maybe your cousin gets cut, your little brother. Would you tell them, hey, hang it up, nice try? Would you say what would be Coach Jason David's advice? Maybe a young man that you trained gets cut and gave it his all. What would your advice be?
I think everybody's situation is different, in terms of how long they can continue to play, what they got going on in their life. Do they have kids? Are they married? Are they old? Have they had surgeries? So it was really case by case. I think the biggest thing that I would say to young men in this position that have been cut or that are on the bubble is the NFL is a small window. It is an extremely small window, and it's not something that you can I'm gonna take a break for a year, then I'm gonna try come back and try to get back in the NFL. The league doesn't work like that. I don't know what profession that pays as much as the NFL does works like that anyway. So I mean, my message to the guys who are who've just gotten cut would be this: like, hey, one, do you still love the game? Two, are you willing to train as long as you need to get that call and be ready to go? Because that's the biggest thing. If you get cut and you don't train, or you feel like you got the raw end of the deal and you think someone's just going to miraculously call, and they very well might call, and then now you're not prepared, then you should just hang it up at that point. If you're not willing to train and put the work in to hopefully one day get that call, then you're putting yourself at a disadvantage out the gate. So if you're still passionate about the game, if you still love the game, and you're healthy, whatever that looks like to each player, whether it's a little sore or you're getting off a little knee injury, just push the action, man. The NFL is one of those things where you cannot find another job that's like the NFL. No matter how hard you look, no matter, there's just so many things that the NFL provides, whether it's just simply the NFL logo, the platform that you have, to the relationships that you're able to gain, to access that you're able to gain. There's no other profession, right? There's other professional sports, but in terms of bouncing back from getting cut, man, just put the work in. Everybody who's playing football, unless you're, in year 20, you're fairly young, and obviously if your body is taking some trauma, depending on how well your body's holding up, I would just say keep playing, man. Just keep on playing, play as long as you can, try as hard as you can. And at worst, you can always look back and be like, man, well, shoot, I trained my hardest. I gave it my all. So that's my message, man. It's a tough time of year because some men have families that they have to take care of. From their own parents to their own kids, their own wife. And so it is a tough time in the NFL, but it's also one of those joyous times to see kids accomplish a goal that they've had their whole entire life. And so, but it's something that every player is going to go through. Even when you do retire on your own terms, and that's probably less than the percentage that guys go to the NFL. And so even those guys feel that pain and that sadness of not being able to play football again. So it's just the nature of the beast, man. It's the necessary evil.
It is. One thing I also like to add on to that too, and T, I'm sure you'll attest to this as well, is this is a tight-knit group, right? This football society, man, especially in regards, to the NFL. A lot of times, man, if you put out a good showing and you ball during camp, and it just happens to be a numbers thing, you'd be surprised. Coaches talk, man, and be like, hey, I got this kid. It didn't work out. We would have loved to have signed him. We're jammed as far as who we got, but he's a dog though. And coaches talk, front office people talk, right? So like Coach said, stay in shape, stay ready, man. But if you did your thing, Bonafide really did your thing in camp, that phone will ring, man.
And you know what happens too. You know what happens too. You'll be in a preseason game and you make a couple plays, and the opposing team's like, "Yo, who is this kid on this roster?" And they're chomping at the bit, like, and most teams, the good organizations, they're counting the other team's roster like, oh yeah, this guy's going to get cut. Like, he's not going to make this DB room because they have this player, they just paid this player. So by the time that kid gets waived, that team that played against him in preseason week 2, they're on it. They're snatching him up.
They own him, because they know he a killer. Is this a numbers thing or having to do, with somebody's salary?
No, that's a great point, you guys, and that's some sauce. What they're telling you without telling you is leave the door open. Don't go out the door slamming stuff and cussing people out, because things can happen. That coach can refer you or they can bring you back. That happened to me before, where they bring me in for a workout, let me go home and bring me back. So keep it cool, you guys, and I appreciate you guys sharing that. We have the great Jason David, and we are on to our second last topic of the show, you guys. This is a special portion of the show, the fan favorite portion of the show. If you're joining us for the first time, this is the lightning round, you guys. And we are excited to bring Jason on. This is our version of word association. So I'm going to list we got our guest, and he's going to go as fast as he can to get through my list. Now, one of the biggest guy in the world, so he was lightning fast. We're going to see how fast he is on this lightning round. And ready to go, superstar?
Yeah, there's a little static over here, so hopefully I could answer as fast as possible, but I'm with you. Let's rock.
Okay, so this is what we're going to do. We usually give one for tech delay. Because Jason's in the car and my kids is on my internet. We're going to give 2 tonight. Now, we also got something else. We've already finished with the preseason lightning round winners. So the lightning round winners were actually at a tie. We've got the great Evan, sports agent, and we got Jacob De Jesus, wide receiver at Cal. So they tied at 15. So we got to have a duel between them two. But for Jason, he's kicking us off for the season. So whatever he gets, he's going to be in first place to the end of the season unless somebody knocks him off. All right, Jake. So we don't do this for fun, man. We actually put a dinner on it. So I don't know your spot out there in Santa Ana, LA, but we put a dinner on it. And if somebody doesn't knock you off, you get a dinner at the end of the season. So he's at double zeros. And we got the great Jason David on the lightning round. All right, baby. Don't elaborate. Just go one word. I got some people on here. I got some schools. I got some things. Tell me the first thing that comes to your mind.
Hold on. Okay, I can hear. It was just a little staticky, but go ahead. I'm with you now. The static went away. I can hear you. All right, go ahead.
First thing that comes to your mind. Don't elaborate. One word. All right, he's at double zeros, and he's getting 2 for tech tonight. All right. Number one. Charter Oak High School. Go.
Champions.
Mike Price.
Champion.
Best wide receiver you ever played against?
Steve Smith.
Favorite place to eat in LA?
Outback Steakhouse.
Champ Bailey or Jarrell Revis?
Champ.
Raw Laura.
The best.
Raw Laura. Broccoli.
The best.
Or Brussels? Broccoli or Brussels?
Broccoli. Broccoli. Steamed broccoli.
Travis Hunter.
Travis Hunter or who? Oh, first word. Travis Hunter. Elite.
Favorite holiday?
Christmas.
Oysters or calamari? 50 seconds.
Neither. I don't eat seafood, man.
The Washington Huskies.
Trash.
NIL.
Awesome.
Time.
Hey, awesome. Give him that one.
Okay.
Yeah, I got you, bro.
Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, bro. I was struggling. I'm trying to lock in.
All right, let's add him up. He did pretty good. Sorry for the tech delay. And then we're giving 2 for the tech delay. 2 for the tech delay. So he's the first one of the new season, the college season. We got to see if somebody could knock off coach. All right. Number 1 was Charter Oak High School. That's his old high school. He says champion. Number 2, Mike Price, his old coach. He said champion. He doubled down on the champion. Number 3, best wide receiver you ever played against. He says Steve Smith Sr. Number 4, favorite place to eat in LA. He says Outback. Number 5, Champ Bailey or Darrell Revis. He says, give me Champ. Number 6, the coach at Modern Day, Raw Laura. He says the best. Number 7, broccoli or Brussels. He says, give me the broccoli. Number 8, Travis Hunter. He says elite. Number 9, Washington Huskies, their rival when he was at Washington State. He says trash. Number 10, favorite holiday. He says Christmas. Number 11, oysters or calamari. He says neither. I don't mess with seafood. And number 12, NIL. He says awesome, you guys. So with the tech delay, he's at 14.
14. Yeah.
Number 15 won it last session. So 14 kicks us off. The great Jake. All right, baby. So we are on to our last topic of the show. We want to let Coach go. We appreciate the time, Coach. If you have a question, the audience comment section is open. We are live. But Guru, I know you got a question for Coach.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Coach, we wanted to ask you if you could tell us a little bit more about the Delta Group, man. What's the premise of it? What's the purpose? We'd love to hear a little bit more about that.
Yeah, Delta Sports Group is a company I founded that essentially is filling the gap where kids and families, just giving them a roadmap, right? Remember, I mentioned earlier I came from a single parent, an immigrant mom who didn't really know much about football, let alone American sports. And so watching her try to navigate recruiting and what school to go to and what questions to ask was something that was really challenging for her. And so when I retired, I wanted to make sure that I was able to create a platform for not just kids to kind of enhance their skill set, but also a platform for families to really help them with the navigation of NIL, financial planning, preparing their kids for high school. And so what it looks like today is it's an ecosystem, right? So if you have a kid that feels like he can play at a high level, we are the place to go to make sure that that kid gets the right toolage for whatever sport that they play, because it is a multi-sport group, right? From soccer to football to baseball. We just had an All-American baseball signed to LSU today, player. But Delta Sports Group is nothing more than an entity that provides a service to kids and families to help them reach the next level, whatever level that may be, whether it's a kid going from JV to varsity, whether it's a college player looking for an agent that needs some help. You know, this is my ministry. And so what I get to do every day gives me super life, man. I get to show up for these families. I get to show up for these kids and know that I'm giving back and helping them make the right decisions. Because, I mean, you guys know this now in this day and age with sports and NIL, there's just so much going on that parents don't know how to wrap their head around. Oh, this school's giving me this much, and this agent's charging me this much, and this guy said I can go to this high school and start. So we just want to be that gap where we can help parents kind of make the good decisions and right decisions for their kids, and also for the kids, give these kids the opportunity to go and play at a high level at whatever sport it may be.
Wow, that's amazing, Coach. Where's the best place for people to reach out to get more information?
Probably the Instagram. Our Instagram page is really simple. It's Delta Prep Academy. You can send us a DM. You can send us a question. We're pretty active on social media. My social media always is open for any questions or inquiries. But social media will kind of tell the story of Delta Prep Academy, and then our 7-on-7 team. And I think that's probably one of the most fun things that I'm able to do with some of these top recruits and top kids around the country is, you know, I've had some of the top players play for Delta, you know, and it's a nationally recognized brand at this point. But, you know, everyone from the Julian Lewises to Chris Henry to you name it have come through my program. And again, it's just really giving these kids the tools on how to be a pro, right? Everyone talks about wanting to go pro, but if you don't know how to be a pro, it makes it 10 times hard. And so, you know, my charter in this whole thing is, okay, you aspire to be a professional, no matter what it is, whether it's being a business owner, it's still a professional. What are the things that you can do at a young age to put yourself in position to be successful when it's time to be a pro?
That is huge. And I'm so glad that you had that mindset to give back and really do that. So big ups right there to Coach Jay. We took him a little longer, you guys, but he's giving us love and sauce. So, Coach, we want to let you go, and we really appreciate you coming in the locker room show.
All good, man. Y'all gotta have me back for the round 2. Hey, look, if somebody beats me, we gotta line it up again. I need that. I'm gonna get if they get 15, I'm gonna get 16.
That's what's
up.
And
I see some people coming in for you, and they're saying trash. Johnny says trash. And she was laughing about that. She said, Big Ruck says he needs 3 for tech delay. So, all right, Big Ruck. I'm a default to you guys at 15. Somebody hits 15. We got to bring back in Jay. So we appreciate you, Jay. Best of luck. Go win a state championship.
Hey, definitely.
Thank you, guys. Hey, by the way, if we win this national championship, first time ever in high school football history is a 3-peat national champ. So you guys watch this, man. We chasing history. Yeah, we chasing history.
What's up, man?
All
That's
right,
what's
you
up.
guys. So we're all
Definitely.
rooting
Yeah.
unless you playing on high school football, your team or your kid, you rooting for Mater Day and Coach
Man,
J
there it is.
this
For
year.
sure.
All right, Coach. We
All
love
right,
you. Have
guys.
a good one.
All right.
All right, man. Hey, he said 3-time, first time ever. And
Yeah.
I watched them. Dude, they look like a FCS program.
Hey, they do. Where you at, man? I mean, hey, man, that's what I said, man. It's I can't imagine coaching a team like that because, like I said, man, it's like you got to think about it. Kids that come through Modern Day, it's like at least almost a third or a fourth of them play on Sundays. That's how many kids they got. Like
if you're gonna win 3
ridiculous.
national, he didn't say state Q, 3 nationals.
Yeah.
I mean, can you picture being in high school, dude, winning 3 They're not even thinking about state. I said, good luck with the state. He said, yeah. We're going after that national.
Hey, I'm telling you. But but I look at like teams like that and Bosco, East St. Louis. Man, you look at their schedule, you're like, man, hey, they gotta run the gauntlet. Like they got a schedule, boy, and these kids are on the road. Like, like a Power 5 squad, right? So, it's going to be fun to watch, man. Be fun to watch. Best of luck to them.
Yes, indeed. So, hey, you guys, that was Coach Jason David. Look him up. Look up the Delta Group. He said it's a national organization. If you're feeling like you might need some help with some other thing, all sports, which is great. But no, Coach Jay is doing some great things, you guys. I know they do flag football. I know they do, which is just blowing up, and I love it, especially on the girl side, man. Have you seen some of these girls playing flag football, dude?
I seen a couple girls like quarterbacks.
Seen girls making better plays than dudes.
Hey, I'm telling you, got a rifle, man. Yeah.
So
I'm telling you.
Down. And they're building their little NIL followings and stuff. So
man, it's dope.
Yeah, it's good. We got the great Ernest Munoz saying, love to see them play IMG. I'd love to see them play IMG. And then also Grayson out of Georgia. I'd love to see them play. Johnny says, crazy fun. Girls flag is taking over. Yes. And once the Olympics hit, it's really going to be over. Some of these high schools, man, are adding flag football. I mean, colleges are adding flag football team and giving scholarships. Yeah. Jay-Sean Sykes' daughter got a scholarship for flag football.
Yeah,
so,
it's serious,
it's getting big, y'all. So, hey, that is it for tonight's show. It is football season, so you know Guru's pumped, you know I'm pumped, and you know that the Locker Room Show don't stop. So that's just a perfect marriage for you to come back next Thursday. It's also perfect for you to make sure that you like, subscribe, and share. We bring in the best of the best every Thursday, and we've been doing it for a while. Make sure that we get over 1,000 subscribers, which we're very close to. So get your dog to subscribe, whoever you got to. And then also, if you need some recruiting support, some mentoring, a lot of the things that Coach Jay does, check us out. Before you go pro, we got a ton of resources. Been in the game for 20 years. We've got athletes playing all over the country, some on TV right now, and it's going down this football season. I got to get ESPN Plus, Guru, because I got, FCS and then the HBCUs. They playing on these. I mean, dude, if you're D2 or higher, you're on TV.
Yeah, period.
Don't worry about which school you're going to and the logo. You're gonna
get seen. Yeah, you are. That's true.
Or higher, man. We got HBCU kids playing HBCUs on TV, so it's going down, you guys. So hey, hopefully you guys enjoyed tonight's show. California private schools cut their teeth on public schools. Yeah, and it's a national scene. High school football is crazy, and now NIL's at the high school level too.
Right.
So some of these schools gonna be paying for high school kids. So we gonna cover it in the locker room. Guru, anything for the good people before we get out of here?
Hey man, one thing I gotta say is, boy, this Ohio State Texas game, you talking about the smoke. I'm just glad I just want to see how Arts holds up. We know Ohio State gonna suffer. We damn sure know what they got, but I want to see how good this is. I like Arch, and they got a lot of weapons.
A national championship right out the gate.
It is basically, but Man, I gotta go with Ohio State, man. It's hard to win at the
Whoa.
horseshoe. Yeah, hey, it's hard to win at the
Whoa.
horseshoe, and it's like
Whoa.
you gotta think about it like this, man. JJ's good for about 14 points minimum, dude.
Oh well,
Like,
I'll be surprised if they just let him beat him. Sark, I mean, he's a super Megatron, but you gotta expect they want to get the ball to him, right?
Yeah, man. But I tell you this,
I'm going Texas with Big Jimmy because I just gotta see it from the new quarterback. I know going to Ohio State is ridiculous, especially first game of the year, but I gotta see it with this new quarterback. But they'd be smart to make sure that I might put Smith at quarterback.
Well, here's the thing about it, though. T. Ohio State has never had great quarterbacks. I mean, I know they had a couple, the TJ Barretts and but I'm saying they're not a quarterback school. I don't know why they haven't had they've never had a history of great quarterbacks. They've had some
defense running.
Right. They've had an okay quarterback and these ridiculous receivers and running backs, but Ohio State's always been that way. So them not having a marquee quarterback, it's like you got to think about it. CJ's the best quarterback that's ever come through there for the most part.
And he just came through.
Right. They've never had great quarterbacks. So it's like They don't need it. I mean, it's like, man, you could get a high school kid back there to throw to the receivers they got. And you got to think about it. When you're at Ohio State, the whole wide receiver room's going to the league, bro. It doesn't matter who your quarterback is.
But doesn't Sarkisian need it more?
Absolutely. But again, see, that's the thing. It's like, even though, man, we've seen Arch get playing time, whatnot. But this is his first season in the saddle as QB1 in that environment. So I want to see how he responds. Because it's like we know your pedigree, but you got to live up to the hype now.
All right.
And these are the type of games that it's like we got to see how much of a Manning you really are now.
Yeah, these are the games we're giving you the suitcase for.
Yes.
So we're going to see
how money going to get earned this Saturday.
It's put up and shut up. 2 days away, that big game. My alma mater playing tomorrow, Georgia Tech. Your alma mater looking good last week. So, hey, we're going to take you through the season as we always do. Definitely. We hope you enjoyed tonight's show. Please make sure you share the link and get it out to as many people as possible. Make sure you subscribe. Have a great weekend. We'll see you guys at the top. Love you.